I used to walk everywhere because I didn't have a car. And like I could never save up enough money, or it just seemed impossible to save up enough money for an actual like operating vehicle, you know, that wasn't going to break down every fucking, you know, week. And my car's in the shop right now. I'm getting new tires on it, and I Ubered to Chipotle as my first meal of the day, which is like, I don't know, 7 p.m. or something like that, which is late. But you know, I fast sometimes, and I just ate so much that I'm like, fuck, I need to literally take a walk to like digest what the fuck I just ate. And as I'm walking, I'm like, damn, this feels so familiar of how it used to, like, not even that long ago, you know? I can imagine this is not a good area either, but it doesn't fucking matter, I'm strapped up. The reason I'm saying that, though, the reason I wanted to make this video is because, you know, in those times where I was walking to work, right? I hope you guys can fucking see me. More light required. Well, this is gonna be a dark video for y'all, so maybe the audio will be more impactful than the visual. But you guys get the point. You guys that watch my YouTube, you guys get me. You guys understand me because you're just like me. You know, and that's a big thing that I like to push into you guys, to let you guys know, is like, I am not fucking different than you. You know, like people acting that way, it doesn't help anybody. Like people acting like they're different and that's why they're better. And I don't mean better in like more valuable. I just mean better at their skill set. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't serve you either, to think that, right? To think that I'm better, or to think that I have it easier than you, or think that I'm fucking different than you. Because at the end of the day, I'm really not any different than you, you know? And I wanted to make this video because I find myself, you know, over the years, as I've, you know, built my business up and started the social media game and all that, I find myself in moments of deep spiritual reflection where the spirit within me is like confirming my reality based on what I used to experience in my life. You know, I don't know if I've told this story to you guys, to my YouTube guys before, but you know, when I was 22, 23, you guys know I lived with my mom on her living room floor. I moved to California for a little bit with her and, you know, the rest of my, you know, my sisters. And I remember, dude, my mom's car got repossessed. It was a really, really hard few months for us. It was so terrible to see that happen. I just remember the fucking look on her face when her car got repossessed. And she was doing Uber. That was her job. So not only did she not have a job anymore, but she didn't have transportation. And I remember my mom is a hustler, so she found a job pretty quick. And, you know, it had to be somewhat close to the fucking apartment because none of us had cars, you know? And after a certain point, it's just impractical to walk fucking 45 minutes in the dark, which is, you know, not 45 minutes, but she was, she luckily found a job close by, but it was overnights, you know? And it was dark out, you know, while she would walk. And I remember she would ask me, hey, can you walk me to work? And, you know, I was like, of course, you know, no problem. Anytime, anything, right? It's so crazy because in those moments, I remember, just think about this, right? You're walking your mom to work just so she's safe, you know, in the middle of the fucking night, basically. And like, you know, I wasn't like super close with my dad. You know, I didn't really have that masculine like energy. I didn't really have that masculine influence in my life, especially not at that time. I had to seek that stuff out. I had to seek those people out. I had to listen to the podcasts. I had to deliberately go after and seek counsel from men that were at a higher level than me. But there was also something that I believe that was something very special that was happening in those moments. Because a lot of people think when, they say things like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck anymore, right? When people say, I don't care anymore, I don't give a fuck. All right, I've lost all ability to care. And acting like that's a bad thing. Because I remember those moments. I remember walking my mother to her job. And those moments of not giving a fuck, I actually grew from it. And even though it was a sad moment, I would sit there and I would be like, fuck, dude, I just walked my mom to work. Her car got fucking repossessed. And I remember I would bring my penny board with me because I would ride the penny board back. I'd walk her there and ride the penny board back. And yeah, of course, I felt defeated. I felt like shit. But there was also this moment of like blissfulness. And I was like, we have nothing to lose. And I really didn't give a fuck anymore. But that's when I felt like the chains were being released. I was becoming like unbound by the things that were enslaving me, And really that's like the basis of my brand, the No Victim brand is, it's actually recognizing and really being open to the fact that low points in your life and bad things happening are setting you up for positive opportunities, which is super fucking hard to conceptualize, especially when you have a broke fucking mindset. Because everything that is happening in your life, you think it's happening to you, not for you. Which now it's the opposite, right? And it's not all the time. I'm not fucking perfect, guys. I am an inherently negative motherfucker. Like, you should see me when I wake up. 99% of the time, I'm fucking anxious. I'm negative. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I'm irritated. And that's like my default. Think about that. That's like how I normally am. And I think that people just, they relinquish too much control to external factors. Because in those moments, like when you're broke and when you're experiencing a level of financial distress and just like stress in your family and just all this shit's going on, you feel overwhelmed by it, right? But it's so fucking real. It's so real that I truly believe that if you don't pay close enough attention, you'll miss the opportunity. You guys can barely see me now, but you don't even give a fuck. It's about the message, right? And there's some light up here in the corner so that you'll get a glimpse of my face in just a second, but I'm still gonna upload this because it's about the message. And that's the thing too. I mean, guys, I literally I remember being in that moment and just making every fucking excuse that I could. Like, oh, I don't have a high quality camera. Guess where I shoot all my content now? On my phone. So I never needed one. Oh, well, I don't know what to do. Well, sometimes I feel that way still. Sometimes I feel like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Which is hard for a lot of people to admit because they let their ego control every move that they make. Which we all succumb to it. We all succumb to our ego. The ego is what fights the spirit, right? The spirit is really like, the spirit is God, but I believe that we are vessels, right? And what I mean is this. If you think about a vessel, right? Like a blood vessel. A blood vessel is connected to the heart, which is like the source of life, right? Because if the heart stops beating, what happens? You die. A blood vessel's job is to take the blood from the source, which is the heart, take that blood, pump it through your body, and then pick up nutrients, and then push it through the body and go back into the heart, right? Which means a vessel is connected to a source. Listen to what I'm saying. A vessel is connected to a source, which means that if you consider yourself a vessel, and if you actually understand why you're here on this earth, you'll start to realize, oh, I am actually part of a bigger picture with other vessels pulling energy from the source and reporting back to that source. This is why we have things like prayer, meditation. It's because those are the moments where, and now it's not a blood vessel, because obviously a blood vessel brings blood. But what does the spiritual vessel give? It gives a message. You know, my name is Gabriel. My name means messenger. My name actually means messenger of God. There's a story in the Bible about when Mary Magdalene, she becomes pregnant with the Son of God, Jesus Christ, right? And there's a certain angel, his name is Angel Gabriel, and he brings the message to Mary Magdalene. And he says, hey, you are going to birth the Son of God, right? Which is a pretty big deal, right? And I always think about that. That although my name might directly mean the messenger, then maybe that's just the way that I connect to the source and am able to gain knowledge from the source, give people the knowledge from that source, and then report back to that source. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I know this may seem like super deep for a lot of you guys, but I just genuinely feel like you guys that follow and watch my YouTube, you understand exactly what the fuck I'm saying right now, right? You guys are, yeah, I'm saying God and fuck in the same sentence, but you guys don't care because you understand the message. It's not about me cursing. And it's not about religion. I'm not talking about religion at all, actually. I'm talking about true connection with the source of everything that is good. And money can't do that for you. I felt amazing having no money. I've been fulfilled having no money. Now, of course, I went through financial distress, and everyone goes through it at a certain point in their life. Most people, right? Most Americans. But there were moments of joy. And there were moments of fulfillment. And in those moments, that's actually when my character was being built. Like, my character was not built when I bought a fucking Rolex. My character was not built when I made $500,000 last year in my fitness coaching business. That's not where my character was built. Okay? It's not in the win. The character is not built in the win. It's built from pain. Right? So you guys that are going through it right now, I'm sure you're going through something. What are you learning from this experience? Or what, rather this, here's a better question. What are you choosing not to listen to? Because the messages are constantly being delivered to us and through us. Remember, to us and through us. Anything that is good and bad, we are the facilitators of that. Us humans, we are the facilitators of it. There is the physical, which is our bodies, and then there's the spiritual. It's what we can't see. And this is so powerful, guys, because why? Because when you can understand the power of the spirit, then you get to this almost the same point as you would on a different dynamic where you say, well, nothing else matters. I don't give a fuck about anything. It's the same spot that you'll come to when you actually understand that you have a legit connection to the source of everything that's good, which is God. Now, a lot of people might be saying, well, like, why are you saying this shit, Gabe? Like, where's all this God talk coming from? And are you a Christian and all this stuff, right? As if any of that fucking matters, right? And I think a lot of people need to understand this fundamental concept. The messages, most of the time, will never be delivered in the fashion, on your timing that you want, in the way that you want, at the volume that you want, in the weather that you want, in the color that you want, in the shape that you want, in the size that you want. See, we have an expectation of what opportunities are supposed to fucking look like. Isn't that so funny? What the fuck? We have an expectation for what those are supposed to look like. So guess what? When it doesn't look like the way you want it to look, what do? You deem it as bad. Well, this is happening to me, not for me. The reason I say this is because this is an equalizing mindset. I say equalizing because why? Because it goes across the board for everybody. Once I learned that the difference between successful individuals and non-successful individuals is what? Better choices. That's a hard truth to accept. Why? Because when you look at your life, and if you understand the fundamental difference between success and failure, and you know it's based off of decision making, it's easy to beat yourself up for all the bad decisions that you've made. But what you're not fucking getting is that growth comes from pain. So when everything's good, dwell in it and celebrate it. Because, dude, there's a lot to celebrate in this world, man. There's a lot to be happy about. The way I look at it is just having your eyes half closed versus wide open and seeing the truth. It's not magic, guys, and it's so much easier said than done. But I'm a living example of it, guys. The only reason that it took me so long to start my business, and the reason I didn't have that belief in myself, is why? Because everything in my life was happening to me and not for me. I didn't possess the ability to see it as an opportunity, and that was the big fuck up for me. Think about that. That has nothing to do with my genetics, nothing to do with my financial status, nothing to do with how I'm feeling, nothing to do with any of that. But it has everything to do with making a fucking choice. And a lot of you guys need to make that fucking choice. Look, if you want to be a fucking loser, be a loser. If you don't want to become a vessel for the source, right? Which is, by the way, everything that you're passionate about, your gifts, talents, and abilities, guess what? Guess the fuck what? They ain't there for no reason. Why do you think you like certain things that other people don't, and don't like certain things that other people do? It's because you're specially crafted for a reason. Everyone has a specific reason that they're here. And it's like, well, no, Gabe, people will say, no, Gabe, we're just specks of dust. We're insignificant. I don't believe that at all. I do not believe that. I don't think that we're just here living for no reason. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking serious? You actually think that? Like, it's just so ridiculous to think that we're not here for a reason. And guess what? Let's say we aren't. How is acting like you're here for a purpose gonna hurt you? It's not going to. That's the cop-out. It's nihilism. It's saying, well, I don't give a fuck. We're all gonna die anyway. Always remember that you're here for a purpose. You're never gonna see the opportunities if you have your eyes half closed. You need to open your fucking eyes and realize what's in front of you. And I genuinely wish someone told me this when I was younger. And you know what? Now that I think of it, they probably fucking did. But I didn't see it as an opportunity. Why? Because my eyes were half fucking closed and I wasn't grateful for those moments. So whenever I see someone going through something, I say, where's your heart at? That's what my mom says to me. She says, where's your heart at, Gabe? All the time. But the way I think of it is in the same way, but also for men, these men that I'm coaching in my business coaching and my fitness coaching. I have elite clients that build their businesses, and I won't say any names, but I've had clients that struggle, and I have clients that do really well, really, really fast. Do you know what the fundamental difference is? The fundamental difference is this. The people that are successful in my business or in my coaching program and in any business, they have the ability to see what everyone else is going through, even if it's negative, as an opportunity. It's a fucking superpower. See, people, I had a guy come to me. He's like, the other day, he was like, dude, I just don't give a fuck about anything. I just don't care anymore. You ever heard that from people? I love that. Oh, dude, I just don't care. No, Gabe, you don't understand. I don't give a fuck about anything. Oh, cool. You know what I started to do? I started clapping my fucking hands. He probably thought I was crazy. I started clapping my hands. I go, yay, yay. Now you're at the fucking start. You're at the start, buddy. You don't give a fuck. You have nothing to lose. Welcome to the fucking beginning. Once you've released everything else that's extra, then you get to the fucking truth. A lot of you are not going to understand what I just said in this video, and a select few of you will. And for those people, keep spreading the message. Stay connected to the source. Take the message and give it to the world, and always go back to the source to report back. No victim.